So last week I went to my first ever Wizard World in Philadelphia. This was my first time going, and the main reason that I went was for Thor, but mainly Loki. My friend told me about it and she said that Tom Hiddleston was going to be there, so that meant that I had to go. And yeah, wanted to give a little review about it because I wanted to vlog, but all I did that day was basically spend the morning in panels, walk the floor for an hour, and then left. So it's not really a good vlog. So instead, here is my Wizard World Philly review. Got there super early because we got Saturday passes, and because that was the day that Tom Hiddleston was there doing his panel, and we got there about 8 o'clock ish. By the time we got our registration done, which was really super easy, and I was really impressed with that because they opened at 8. By the time we got there, it was closer to 8:30. And there was a huge line for VIP registration, but there was not really any line for general admission registration, and that is what we did. We had the pass we printed out. We also got parking ahead of time, which I recommend you do that, especially if you go Saturday and you're driving to Philly, because the garage was filled, but because we had the pass and paid ahead of time, we got in. It was really great. It was literally across the street from the convention center, super easy. So that was a plus. And I know I did it through Parking Panda this year, so that was really good that you could prepay for parking. And registration, you went up, they gave you your wristband, just scanned your pass that you printed out. It wasn't really a pass. And you were good to go. So literally I got my pass out, got my wristband, and ran back because we saw that there was a huge line for Captain America General Admission panel. I don't know how many people were going for VIP, but there was already a line at 8:30 and the panel was at 10 o'clock. So I wasn't sure if we were going to even make it because we didn't know the VIP, because they guarantee VIP access. They never guarantee general admission access. And that was something I knew going into, but I figured it's a chance, it's gonna be a hit or miss, but we'll try it and see what happens and just enjoy the day. That was my feeling throughout the day. So we got in line and there was at least about 500 people in front of us. Normally this is where I would record the line to show you, but it was so crazy and I was so determined to get into these panels that literally I just got in my spot and didn't leave. And the wait wasn't that bad. There was a line that was even longer behind us. And again, I would have recorded that too, but I was in my spot and I was not leaving. So they started moving us in about 9:15-ish, I would say, a little by little. So we're like, okay, we're moving, this is good, this is good. And they get stopped a little bit, we're like, it's okay, we're going. And then finally, we got to the part where they just kept moving and then going up the escalator, and I'm like, once we're up the escalator, I'm like, this is it, we're going in to see the panels! And started freaking out, fangirling. I only have some like pictures, which I'll put here, that I took off my phone while I was Snapchatting the day, which was literally, we're in the panel, here's our seat from the stage, got to move up again, here's our seat from the stage, got to move up, and then that's it. So we started with Captain America panel, which was amazing. I really love those guys. It was really fun to see. I got a couple of clips, which I'll show here.
Guys, you know him as the Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan!
And I think that comes with his power, his speed, his prowess, you know, and I think they really showed that in that for both that first post. It's great.
All right, so let's get to Civil War. I know there's a lot of questions. We're gonna get some of those, but they're good to eat.
We're the I'm the Marvel Oprah. You get a plum. You get a plum. Catch it, that guy.
They were hilarious. The questions I was very impressed with everyone asking throughout the entire panels that I was in, and it was just really fun. I really enjoyed that. That was the best part about it. That made everything worth it. So it was Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, and Chris Evans for the Captain America panel, and then afterwards they didn't clear out the room, so, which was great. That was my whole mission. And they had Stephen Arnell from DC Arrow.
Or to Vincent to Arrow. Well,
I'm not a DC fan, so I don't know anything about it, but he was really nice too because I stayed through him. It was very different with the crowds. The Marvel panels were literally filled up. People were standing in the aisles, and with his panel, I think maybe because he comes a lot more and it's more casual, half the room was filled and there was a lot of empty space. But he was really nice. He was very humble, down to earth, really excited about his movies because he was doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and of course Arrow he was talking about. And again, even all those people had really great questions. There was a lot of thought-provoking questions that you would have not thought of. So that was really interesting to go and think about and hear their answers. And there was a lot of fun ones too, of course, Bucky and his plums. I love it. And then, of course, the man of the hour, Tom Hiddleston and Chris Hemsworth. And I was so excited because they were like, okay, they're going to be a little late, but good news is you can move up. And I was like back where I couldn't see them, so I literally ran and grabbed a seat and put my backpack down. I was like, I'm done. I am done. This is it. And I was close enough where I was able to see him in person. Not anything super close. I still watch the screens, but I could see him in person, and that was a highlight of my day enough because he is my favorite all-time actor and I adore this man. And not trying to fangirl, but I adore this man and I really admire him, and I can't wait to one day when I can meet him. That'll be exciting. But that's that. So basically that was my highlight and that made everything worth it.
Okay, apparently everyone's standing up to see them. They better put their ass down.
Although that guy is one of the best photographers in the business, though, in all fairness.
Play down in front.
What's going on, Philadelphia? I'm all right with that. Our first guest, well, he's on the heroic side of things. Know him as the god of mischief. His brother is on screen. You know he's lucky. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Tom Hiddleston.
Hold me to it, I know. I don't know, there are some great ones. I'm going to give you 3, which isn't allowed, but I have a microphone, you don't.
Do you think it's dating to save the woman, to do the heroic things? They call me the ant.
Darth Trump. Definitely. So that question's for Chris, right? Yeah. I think you should, yeah. Dance right now.
So those were the good parts of Wizard World. And then we got to the show floor after we left the panels, and that's where things took a turn. It was very disappointing. I've been to a couple cons. I'm not an expert yet, but I have been to a couple: Comic-Con New York, Otakon, no, I want to go to Otakon, Comic-Con New York, MegaCon in Orlando. Just comparing the couple, this show floor was the most disappointing. I've heard a lot of people talk about how Wizard World is very money hungry, and I could definitely see that, especially with how much they sell for the VIP tickets and how much they focus on the celebrities being the main event, which to me isn't really what a con is about. It's more about community and gathering and seeing everyone dressed up. The cosplayers were amazing. That was also another highlight. I did Ramona Flowers. Here's a couple pictures. So in terms of cosplay, there was a lot of creative ones. Of course there's always creative ones. Of course there's always amazing ones. I bow down to all the cosplayers. And you always have themes of the very common ones at every event, it seems. So this time on Saturday when I was there was tons of Lokis, a couple of Thors, but mostly Lokis, a lot of Marvel, a lot of Winter Soldiers, and a lot of Captain Americas, which all makes sense. But you know who also had a lot of stuff? Let me unfold this. Harley Quinn. There was tons of them. Of course, everyone had the same shirt and everyone did the same cosplay, and they were all great, but I'm not really that big a fan, and I'm saying that and I have the shirt, but I like the costume, so I was going to try to do it. Show floor itself, it was not that great. So Artist Alley was close by, which is nice. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. So main floor, show floor, we went down. It was normally I'm used to the more creative stuff. I like to go see where there's really unique things to get. This time I was more focused on anime stuff because I know even with Comic-Con and MegaCon they had a lot more, and I know that it's not an anime convention, it's a comic convention, and they had a lot of comics that they could get, and more focused on that. But even then, everything seemed a little overpriced this time. There wasn't many anime stuff, there wasn't figurines, and I was watching different vlogs ahead of time where they showed that in different Wizard Worlds, so I was looking for figurines, I was looking for anything with fairy tale type of deal. I did see a Happy, but I didn't think he was worth the price. They also were selling the Freddy Fazbear plushes, which I thought was adorable, but they were $35 for like this big, and I didn't think it was worth it. The big event that they were selling were these Comic-Con in a boxes, mystery boxes that everyone was carrying around. Let me see if I can find a picture. If I did, it's here. And so that was between $35 or you get a Doctor Who one for $100. And they had different things. There was always a crowd around it, so I really didn't get a good look at what was in there because they tell you like comics are in there or something. I'm sure that people have been reviewing them on YouTube. You could probably find it. That's the main thing I saw people doing. There was just these weird booths that you wouldn't imagine. Like someone had the shower booth. It was like this shower filler booth that they were selling. I don't know why it was at a comic convention. It probably would have been better at a home and garden convention, but okay. State Farm was there. State Farm had, you just filled out and they gave you free stuff. That's the only thing I did. I got a pair of sunglasses since that's my addiction. And you could get your tattoo done live. That was the other thing that was different. Everything just seemed the same. It was the same old toys. There was pop figures everywhere. Everyone was selling pop figures. That's literally all I saw. And you can get that from Amazon. You can get that online or anything. And I just feel like it wasn't that special. When I go, I look forward to more unique things, more Etsy type of stuff, I would believe. And there was a couple that I saw, but it was very rare. So that was just, there was nothing that was just too interesting to me personally, but that's my opinion. As well as they had a couple different replicas of the cars that were legit cars, like you could drive them. They had the Ghostbusters car, they had Duke of Hazzard, they had the Batmobile, as well as a couple other things like motorcycles and the Doctor Who TARDIS, and they were cute photo ops, but you had to pay $15 to do the photo op, and that was just ridiculous to me. I couldn't believe it. I just saw, and then people were paying for them, and I just felt like it was so rip off. I don't deal with that stuff. Like, I hate upcharging, I hate upselling. I'm not a business person. I don't like when people charge for things that ridiculous when it could be for free. But that's just my opinion again. That's just what I felt. So it was very disappointing, the floor overall. And I walked through it in an hour and I was done. I love the cosplayers, I love that, but everything else wasn't that great. And I didn't really do Artist Alley that much because story time. Okay, so I'm not that big on artists, I guess. I mean, I love art, as you can tell. My walls are covered with it, but I don't really know that many by name yet. Although I'm still learning about it. It's one thing I'm interested in. But there's one artist there whose name is Billy Martin, member of Good Charlotte's, and that is where my story time is. So when I was in middle school, I had the biggest obsession with Good Charlotte and listened to their music constantly and never got to see them in concert, but I would love to. And my favorite member of said band was Billy Martin, and I had a huge crush on him. And so of course, when he's gonna be there and I actually can meet him, I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't freak out, but I'm just like, this is a childhood crush. I have to talk to him. So of course I go over and I'm like, hi, I just wanted to let you know that I had a huge crush on you. And he says something quietly that I couldn't hear, something about growing up, and his wife's sitting next to him, and he just continues drawling, and it was very awkward. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not gonna be like cringeworthy, but I was hoping that it would go a little better and I could actually have a discussion with him and just basically tell him how much his music and their music meant to me, but it didn't come out like that. And I'm really excited that I had a wig on. So that way, whenever I meet him again in the future, it could go better. And I won't be the awkward blue-haired girl. Although I'll be probably dressed up still. Like, I found this, it's literally a collage I did. And that's these, okay, there. No, there you go. Good Charlotte. Like, I would take the cutouts from the magazines and make fan art with that, because this is what we did before computers and before Tumblr. This is like Tumblr art back before Tumblr was around. So yeah, that's why I didn't continue going through Artist Alley, because he was like in the front and I didn't want to walk back. I was just like, okay, that's awkward, let's go away, and didn't go back. So next time I'll actually try to do Artist Alley somewhere else, because overall it was amazing. I adored it. It was wonderful, but I wouldn't do it again, I don't think, because everything panel-wise and seeing all my favorite actors and seeing the Marvel cast was perfection. That I'm happy with that, and I feel like going back would ruin the experience, you know, and the floor itself wasn't worth the price. It was only worth the price to go to the panels and check everything out, because I paid $55 for the pass for the Saturday. So who knows, maybe it'll be in the future, but I don't think I will go again. And that is my review. That long-winded review of my day / review.